Good evening and welcome to our Collier Chiropractic pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you. Our matchup tonight, the Pinconning area Spartans come to John Glenn. And for the Pinconning area Spartans this year, they have really struggled to get consistently off the schneid offensively.
Yeah, I think you're looking at two things. You know, one, both teams, even though John Glenn has 3 wins for the season, they're both hungry for a victory. So this is going to be a competitive game. I'm expected to be a competitive game. But you've got to remember you're measuring your wins differently with both these teams. Pinconning, they're young, very young. The one great thing that I like is the fact that they have a JV program because their varsity team is mostly dominated by the sophomore class. So, you know, you're going to have a situation as you continue your program, as Coach Wayner is going to continue his program in building the foundation. But they're not necessarily a win on the scoreboard, maybe trying to compete for 2 quarters. They've had some games this year where they've put some stuff together. It's just that consistency that they're going to have to keep going. But it's nice to get some success so that the players understand what that feels like, and it makes them work a little harder.
Core group on this varsity squad are sophomores, though, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel for this varsity group.
Yeah, you're going to look, your leader, you got Gauthier, she's a junior, and then your sophomore, Kowalczyk, you got Summer Palmaville, sophomore. So you've got some players, again, that have been in the program now for a couple of years, on the varsity for a couple of years. So, you know, that experience will start to pay off. But as we talk about it, it's patience. Patience. And patience for us as coaches are different than patience as parents and patience as players. So it's always interesting, but I think Coach Wayner, as long as he continues to put into his stamp on this program, they're going to be in a good spot.
You go then on the other side to the John Glenn Lady Bobcats, a great inside-outside presence in McCrum.
Yeah, you know, she's been around in the varsity program for a couple of years, following in her footsteps of her sister. Matter of fact, graduating her, it's going to be almost kind of a sad thing when you come to a John Glenn Lady Bobcat game and not have a McCrum on the roster. So, I look for her to do some good things. They just come off of a heartbreaking loss to the rival Essexville Garber last Friday. You know, you have the weekend, you played hard, you know, and it was a heartbreaking loss. So, you know, getting a game like this is Pinconning could be like a trap game type situation where, you know, you're looking at the record, you're going, okay, we should win. You know, it's going to be about the energy. So you look to McCrum as that senior leader to really make sure that everybody's dialed in from the beginning.
Where they haven't got the consistency yet this year, though, is from the supporting cast. Sometimes that's a good thing because you get different girls stepping up on different nights.
Right, and you got Fiona Mizel, Maylett, Liz Keeney. You got Christensen, who's back for another year on varsity. Facundo's out there, Sugden's out. I mean, they've got some players, and it's just going to be about, you know, first off, you know, it's easy for us to say they need to do this or pound it into McCrum or do this, but, you know, getting involved, you know, from the three-point line, I think if they can hit some threes tonight, it does open up your inside game. And McCrum is a very talented passer. They like to get the ball at the high post. She can stroke the ball from there. She can step outside the three-point line. But what she really does that I'm really impressed with is her passing ability.
Well, that about puts the wraps on our Collier Chiropractic pregame show. Back with all the game action in just a moment on BCTV.
Come see the difference at Collier Chiropractic. We are a family-owned local business located in Bay City that offers innovative treatment and care for our patients. If you're in pain, stressed out, and you don't have time for that, taking care of your pain safely and naturally is what we do best. At Collier Chiropractic, we have an award-winning chiropractic and massage therapy team. We believe in delivering the best care and service to every patient. We offer same-day appointments, evenings, and Saturday morning appointments. If you've tried other chiropractic care, physical therapy, or even medication with no results? Visit Collier Chiropractic.
Good evening and welcome to Bay County TV. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. Just glad to have you along tonight. Upstairs making it all happen, Nick Page. It's the John Glenn Bobcats of the Pinconning area Lady Spartans here from John Glenn. As right out of the gate, the John Glenn Bobcats down the floor with a quick first shot, Jason, but the ball goes out of bounds back to Penny.
Well, Shelby Maylet had the shot attempt, and years ago I called her Speedy Maylet because she has an innate ability to get up and down the floor. That one just left a little short, but look for her to be getting things revved up for the Bobcats out there.
As we've got the Pinconning area Lady Spartans, a real joy for me to see them this year with at least a junior varsity team, because unfortunately they have not had one for 4 or 5 years, and that really affects the way that the varsity plays the game.
Well, the good news is Summer Palmerville shoots a shot there from the free throw line just off the mark. Maylet with the rebound, but 4 of the 5 starters are sophomores, so not only having a JV team, but still having these 4 girls up here right now with a 5th one on the bench that's going to give them some opportunity to continue to grow their program.
It's another shot going up from the corner. 2 pieces of iron, unfortunately not going for Christensen. The ball back out of bounds, back over to the Bobcats.
It's going to be interesting to see. I think the biggest thing for John Glenn to do is come out of the gates quick. A couple of nice looking shots, open shots, as Kinney is going to shoot one from the corner.
Boy, they've gotten good looks, definitely, but not getting anything to go to the bottom of the hole. Now we're going to have a reach-in foul, and there's a lot of times where you're going to get that call early in the game. They're going to say that was a help ball situation off the alternate possession going over to the Pinconning area Lady Spartans.
Well, 0-0 at just over a minute gone by here in quarter number 1. Pinconning would love nothing more than to get that elusive first victory of the season.
Going strong to the hole. Secondary shot, not able to get up and in, as that is Palmerville again. She's been active early on for Pinconning.
I think when you look at the stats and you read Pinconning game results recaps that Lee Thompson puts on MLive, you see her name in there. It's not always points, but definitely rebounds, steals, very active, and has understood the game, has really grown into a really nice basketball player over the last couple of years of playing.
Well, the first point of the game, about a minute and a half into that first quarter, goes to the Lady Spartans. And Palmerville with the second opportunity. That one rattles home as well. So 2-0.
I like that, what she did is she squared the ball up. She found the air hole on it. If you watch it at home, you're going to notice when she does that, it allows her to get a nice flick of the wrist, and the ball, as Keeney is going to dribble that one, I don't know, out for leg or out, just dribble out of bounds.
Well, nice job defensively as Gauthier used the end line as an extra defender and stepped down, and that kind of cut the path to the basket off for the Bobcats.
You get these courts like this one where the color of the baseline kind of can blend in a little bit when you're driving, as the color shades here of the court that's been up here about 3 years now, I think, here at the Michael Domsky.
Yeah, doing Domsky.
Yeah, I know him from the South End.
Yes, indeed. It's they couldn't name the gym after a Smith or a Jones, but Mike was very, very good to this program for many, many years, and so gets the gym named after him as they fight for the loose ball. It's taken away right in front of us by Millette.
And Millette comes down, or excuse me, Christensen comes down. She's got Keeney on the wing. Ooh, she looked like she wanted to shoot it. She looked like she wanted to pass it, and then she did neither. Nice pass inside to McCrum. Good ball movement by the Bobcats.
As that shot goes up again, and I think in order for John Glenn to be really successful, they need points from McCrum, because she certainly is a capable scorer.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. You try to get your teammates involved. You want to make sure, but at some point you just got to have that dog in you, and you just want to go get a bucket, especially when your team needs one, and they need one right now as we are just about 5.5 minutes left in quarter number 1, and John Glenn still scoreless.
And Pinconning is packing it in defensively, so they're really not allowing McCrum to get off inside. And the Pinconning area Lady Spartans, with 5:28 left in the first and a 2-0 lead, will have another offensive possession. Getting the ball down on the baseline now. It's again a nice job moving the feet to cut the baseline off. And we're going to have another held ball, and that will go back over to the John Glenn Bobcats.
Yeah, get that dribble, and you do that spin, and you spin right into the defender's hands. And, you know, it's one of the things we always talk to our players about. Make sure we're strong with our rip-overs, make sure we're strong with our rip-throughs. And you got to make sure that you don't allow the defender just to simply grab the ball from you.
Well, you need communication, too. There's a wide-open 18-foot look. It is missed by Millette, as she's not able to let that go in. And then, again, the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll go back over to the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, I think one of these next couple of possessions, maybe get a timeout if I'm Coach Cliff of John Glenn, and maybe just try and draw up something, maybe a little quick hitter, something to get the girls. You know, they're getting wide open look, but maybe get them something in a layup form as they're looking to get the ball down to Palmerville after she traveled with it.
And that'll go right down here. Well, the thing is, held ball before the travel, and that's what they end up getting.
Yeah.
And was well sold by Josh Garbalinski. We've got Jason Angiaski and Paul Sevilla, three great officials, formerly of the Bay Metro Association and now the TCAOA.
Look up. Got someone, there you go. Nice look. Lead
There's
ahead.
the easy first deuce of the ball game.
Christensen, nice pass from Keeney.
Christensen really set herself up with a nice angle from the left side to take it to the hole and finish.
And I like the fact that Liv just didn't throw the ball up there. She got herself under control. As another time, she can throw it up.
Look it up again. Just a step late, looking up.
Still open.
Still wide open, yeah.
Fiona Mizel getting on the floor there as Keeney will send the ball 40 feet up the court.
Nice little floater again, just not able to finish this. A lot of balls early on for the John Glenn Lady Bobcats going off that front iron.
You know, this is also kind of a trap game. You know, John Glenn played a whale of a game on, as Palmerville is going to pick up her second foul in the first quarter.
They can ill afford to lose her because of her inside post presence on both ends of the floor.
Just does a little bit of everything. But going back, John Glenn had a rival game against Garber on Friday. They played a whale of a game. 43-34, I believe, the final score and the outcome of that game was. But Coach Cliff noted that the players played hard, gave everything they had against a pretty solid Garber Duke girls, Lady Dukes. So, you know, this is one of those games you're coming back and you look at the records and you're going, should be a win, that type of thing, but you still got to play the game.
As McCrum sends it back over on the wing, another open look, unable to finish that time as Maylette. As there is another held ball, probably the fifth one of the game, and this one will go back over to the John Glenn Lady Bobcats under their own basket. Tied at 2 with 3:47 left in the first. No more as the shot goes up, and I believe that shot went up from McCrum.
McCrum got the bucket. Nice pass again, inbounded from Keeney. Kept the ball high, tossed it off the backboard, and now we have a 2-point lead for the Dukes. For the Bobcats. All that Garber talk.
Yeah. And again, McCrum just gets there at the last second. Again, got to be a half step quicker and anticipate that to cut that baseline off. Substitute coming into the game.
The Sloan senior, Dalen Bain for the Spartans enters the game. Subbing out Ariel Holstein. Sage Van Wagner in the game for the Bobcats. She came in for Christensen there, the last opportunity.
Nice run along the baseline. The ball is last touched by the John Glenn Lady Bobcats, and another nice look at the basket. You know, neither one of the teams are really starved for good looks early, just not able to finish.
No, not at all. Again, coaches are going to be, looking at, thinking we need to do something else, but the reality of it is you're getting the looks that you kind of want, that you would take 9 out of 10 times. They haven't dropped. Maylette wide open on the wing.
She cuts to the hole, and unfortunately the pass went to the corner where Maylette had vacated.
Yeah, well, it's a heck of a catch down there by the game manager.
Yep, Pat Parent did a nice job. He's done it all, and he was here early and often. Again, like to send our special thanks as well to Rodney Wood, who's the athletic director here, and in his first campaign, he's doing a fabulous job here, and Had the opportunity to work with him at Thomas Lincoln Handy Middle School, and very, very impressed by his leadership. So he'll do a great job out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had the pleasure of knowing Rodney for several years through the basketball coaching ranks, and yeah, he can hoop a little bit too. His coaching, he's coached my son, so he's had some opportunities to sit down with him on several occasions, and I always enjoy talking basketball with Mr. Woods.
Life for basketball. It's all good. There we finally tickling the twine on the trifecta. It's Kuhn.
Keeney.
Is he going to call it Keeney?
Keeney.
All right, I know you were double checking to make sure we had that.
Well,
so we'll give it to Keeney, not Cooney.
I coached her for a couple of years, and I would always make fun of her name, so I never remembered which one I was making fun of. Not making fun of it.
I know.
Ribbon.
Everything is done in good jest.
Exactly.
Moving the ball around, and nice look come underneath, and that shot goes up, and we are going to have a two-shot foul. Is really nice rotation. The extra pass underneath didn't end up in a basket, but it ends up in 2 free throws.
That's going to be team foul number 4 here by the Spartans. That's one thing that they really can't afford to do either. They're getting themselves in a situation where, you're going to be in the bonus in a couple more fouls, and you really don't want to keep putting the team to the, as we got Paul Sevilla coming over to check with the, just like they do on TV.
Except there's not a microphone there. We're going to have to see if we can get a Bay County TV mic down there so we can tell what Paul's got to say. So he'll head back down, and I'm not quite certain. I think they were just trying to make sure that the number was right, but
well, they gave the foul to Kowalczyk, number 3, her first.
And she's the daughter of the superintendent of schools up there in Pinconning.
Yes.
Andy Kowalczyk, my old boss at Bay City Central, gets to go up there and
make a difference up there.
Well, and you're taking over for a longtime superintendent in Mike View, so you really have things well in place, and you kind of add and sprinkle your little bit onto the top, but the structure's pretty well set, and that makes it a lot easier for a soup. As that pass is errant and goes up over the top, Rodney Wood with great explosion to the basketball, picks it up, and it'll go back over to the Lady Bobcats.
He does that any quicker, he's going to be spending time in the athletic trainer room.
Yeah, well, or he's going to end up in the front row here with us. There's a great look from McCrum. Free throw extension, turns around without a second's hesitation and hits the bottom of the hole.
I'm just talking about McCrum as a scorer and it being an active scorer. The one thing you like about her, again, she started the game off really trying to get her teammates involved. And she's able to do this. She's able to get her shots when she wants to. But I think for her, and knowing that her team's success depends on a nice pass ahead by Keeney, is really making sure everyone else is getting their shots and getting the feel for everything. And nice ball movement again by the Bobcats as she steps out.
A little bit short, but again, defense is all spread out. When McCrum leaves the middle of the floor, Jason, you really see people following her because they're very conscious of where she's at on the floor.
Yeah, as they should, Again, active score, nice pass ahead. The last one by Keeney. That Van Wagner got fouled. And again, now it's 2 fouls on Kowalczyk and team foul number 5 when we're still in quarter number 1.
First free throw is up and good as Van Wagner has the second opportunity. Again, Kevin Cliff back here at John Glenn, spent many years in the John Glenn Bobcat program and went a year in Pinconning, and now he's back as the ball goes out of bounds back over to the John Glenn Lady Bobcats.
A little timeout called by Pinconning.
Pinconning takes one. We'll take one as well and be back in a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Caucaulin or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on BCTV as we are down to the last few moments of this first quarter of play. And it's a quarter that the John Glenn Bobcats spotted the first deuce, and they've come back with 11 straight over the next just under 7 minutes.
Well, they didn't get their first basket till about the 5.5-minute mark, so for the last 4 minutes, they've really tried to push the ball a little bit more and work on not just getting the open shots, but hitting the open shots.
Well, and they've gotten much better spacing as McCrum puts the shot up. And a great job the last 2-3 trips down the floor, really, of moving the ball around and forcing the Pinconning defense to have to react to where the ball's going.
Yeah, I tell you, that's going to put the Bobcats, too, in the bonuses. That's team foul number 6. And, you know, the other thing is having a smaller bench, as Pinconning does. You know, you start losing players, you start losing key contributors. It really makes your struggle a little bit more of an uphill battle.
Well, and the bench is not deep in experience or in numbers, a split of the two for McCrum. A little 12-0 run here late in the first quarter for the Lady Bobcats.
Yeah, it's a 12-0 run. It's a exaggerated 12-0 run over the last 4.5 minutes. Now they get a nice screen at the top. They got I'm sorry, but Bain was out in the corner jumping up and down. She may have been wide open. She wasn't letting anybody not see her, except the girl with the ball didn't see her. She was a hop along out there.
Well, Brad Weiner has a very short, very cordial conversation with Paul Sevilla. Paul always does a superb job of explaining himself. He'll always give Coach a minute when he needs it. As the shot is missed again, it's one and done as the rebound comes down, but it's stolen. And now McCrum with a pass forward. And another miss that time by Van Wagner. And the Pinconning Lady Spartans walk it up over the timeline.
I think for the Bobcats to really be successful, they've got some good speed on this team. And what you saw a couple of times with Maylette or Meisel coming up from behind and getting a tap, getting those turnovers, I think that's going to end up being one of their strengths through the year. And I know you're trying to get them to do some things, and you know, you want to put your fundamental foundations onto everything, but
as that ball goes out of bounds.
The John Glenn player was listening to her crowd. They were trying to get Pinconning to shoot it, so Fiona thought there was only 2 seconds left.
Yep, nobody looked up. They thought that the student section here was spot on with the time.
Where's the horn?
They didn't do their math studies very well, but that's certainly something that the home court does. As that ball tipped away, and at the end of our first quarter of play, the John Glenn Lady Bobcats 12 and the Pinconning Area Lady Spartans 2. Back in a moment for the second quarter on BCTV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Back here on BCTV, like to take this opportunity and thank our sponsors, Collier Chiropractic, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, Frank's Great Outdoors, the Bay City Public Schools, and the All Saints Booster Club. Our great sponsorship getting us through the winter and already starting to take glimpses for baseball and softball and soccer in the spring.
Well, we wouldn't be here, without our sponsors and their continued support. And, I love getting the new sponsors on board, but, being able to retain a lot of the sponsors that we have over the years, just gives us a little bit of an idea that they like what we're doing and really want to be community supporters.
Well, and I like people that utilize those services to say, thank you for your support on Bay County TV, because they like to hear that. And obviously, as you said, they find value in it because they come back year after year to help support this program.
Yeah, absolutely. As we got a jump ball right on cue, 30 seconds into the second quarter. Goes back over to the Bobcats.
Again, substitute coming back into the ball game, which is Holstein.
Now we got Kowalczyk with 2 fouls, number 3 out there. She's still on the floor. Palmaville is on the bench with 2 fouls. You're going to be having to mix a little bit, trying to game manage right now.
I'd say Palmaville comes back by the 6-minute mark because they really are a different team with her in the game. As look at McCrum underneath, and again, you'll take that shot all night long.
Absolutely.
A little short arm, but what a great shot.
She got a really nice left hand there. She had a really nice move right there and just wasn't able to spin it in. It's going to be a foul right
Reach
there.
in.
Yeah, absolutely. As Sugden is whistled for her first. Bobcats' second team foul. Again, Sugden got some wheels, got some speed. Christensen back on the court right now as Van Wagner stays on the court. And Maylett will round out year 5 with McCrum.
Back in the game is
Elf. We're going to keep it simple.
All right. Was stuck in the corner, and again, unforced turnovers is probably the one thing that frustrates Coach Weiner the most.
Well, I think unforced errors, frustrate me as an announcer because we both know that they're unforced. And it's you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I believe that's a definition of insanity.
And he has such great composure on his bench with his girls, trying to continue to teach, and he understands they're young and they're going to have some growing pains, but I think in a couple of years he's going to have a fun group here.
Well, again, being able to keep these girls, having a JV team, having 4 or 5 starters as sophomores, gives you a lot of opportunity to see the light, to see a glimpse of the end. As a block, as Palmerville came back in and checked in for Whelan. So Palmerville, just like you said, around the 6-minute mark, trying to create some added dimension to the game. As Sugden had the steal, dribbled it off of a Spartan. Spartans recover and
then trying to force the ball inside. That's a great bounce pass opportunity when you have a tendency to try and sail that at airmails and goes a little high.
Christensen bringing the ball up the court for the Bobcats.
And again, the Bobcats are going to have to show that they can make the outside shot, because I like Pinconning's defense, just packing it in defensively, forcing them to make the shots from the outside.
Yeah, I think Keeney has the 1-3 right now for the Bobcats. As Maylett, I told you, she's fast. She got a little bit of a Freddie Flintstone foot starter there. And
yep, she definitely was shuffling the tootsies before the rock hit the floor. Again, with 6 minutes left in the first half, still 12-2, the John Glenn Lady Bobcats on top over the Pinconning area Lady Spartans. As trying to go down to the baseline again, nice defense by the Lady Bobcats using that baseline. Nice little double team. Palmerville with a shot, great opportunity. She gets another shot to go up, and she's fighting underneath. And we're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession, but I like the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. She just brings it to the game, She brings it. She fouled up her shot. I think that makes most coaches happy, Foul your shot, get after it, do your thing. And was able to almost get another shot up attempt.
That pass was a little bit surprising as it went to Gauthier. And we're going to have a foul on the play.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 for the Bobcats, as I believe Gauthier is going to be whistled. Getting a little frustrated out there, and unfortunately it shows, as that is going to be, as Coach Weiner gets an explanation from Mr. Sevilla. But we have two fouls on her, 2 fouls on Palmville, 2 on Kowalczyk. So, in the 1-and-1 situation, you just get yourself into, unfortunately, give them an opportunity to add points with the clock stopped.
Well, and they're talking right now, this should be a 1-and-1, I believe. It was not an offensive foul. So I believe depends on what and how they called it. It'll be a shooting foul.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who it was, because there were 3 girls that were trying to pick everybody else up.
All they got to do is let the Bay County TV know. We'll fill them in. At the free throw line, Van Wagner shooting the 1-and-1 halfway down the hole. And look who's got the Windex out cleaning the glass.
Palmerville. Love watching her succeed. A great kid, great family.
And there's a jump ball. Very nice call. Very well done, Jason. As that would have been, in some people's eyes, called a travel, but with the hand firmly on top of the ball, that's a perfect call. He was in great position and did it upright.
Got some subs coming out, so Maylett will take a seat. Sugden will take a seat, as will Van Wagner, as Meisel McCrum and, Keeney and Facundo. Zandria Facundo will enter the game.
So
still looking for
Coach
the first
Kevin
points.
is starting to allow that deep bench, and there's a long 3 ball, and we are going to have a foul on the floor, and I think it'll be a 1-and-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're going to get Kowalczyk for a hold or a push. That's her third, so she's going to come out as number 25, Brazeau, will enter the game. First time we've had a chance to call that sophomore's name, Jasmine Brazeau.
So they called Kowalczyk. I thought they called 33. It was just number 3. And again, another soft touch out there. That thing just hung on the front iron before it went. Facundo says, I earned that second one the hard way.
I think she was ready to throw the dunk down, and she was already in there too. That one.
Look at that. She just likes the multi-chunks of iron, but you can't fault the result.
No, she just wants to use it.
So the first 2 points of the second quarter here, we've played 3 minutes.
The thing about Palmerville, got to be careful about, the illegal screen. Sometimes it's not your fault for the screen. It's your teammate is coming and not allowing you to get set. So there's a big difference between what is exactly at fault. Who is exactly at fault?
Well, and when you're at the top of the key and you're starting to become in some distress because of defense, as wing players, you've got to put yourself in position to have a good opportunity as Facundo puts another shot up. And you got to flash out to put yourself in that position to receive the ball. And the last trip down the floor, the Pinconning ladies did not do that. There's a good look right there, and the shot goes up and unable to drop. And that ball is going to go back over to the Lady Bobcats.
Gother was getting in there just a second late. Unfortunately, was able to tap it out, and she's going to take a seat. She's saddled right now with her 2 fouls. We got a lot of 2 fouls out there. But you got to, again, Coach Wayner's got to keep his bench rotating, keep them fresh. They're down 12 points. They're not out of the game. They have a chance right now. But they got to get something going.
There's a good looking shot, just a little bit too strong that time from Meisel. Meisel has another opportunity, decides to pass that back. And McCrum says, I'm feeling it from downtown, tickling the twine on the trifecta.
Well, give her a 2. The official Jason Andrzejewski pointed down 2 points. So 16-2 in favor of the Bobcats. Just under 4 minutes left in quarter number 2.
And again, a good defense, just moving the feet and cutting off the passing lanes. As again, Pinconning is just really struggling to try and get that ball inside.
Look up, look up. You got her. Still got her. There you go. Nice angle pass. They're going to look at this on film and they're going to realize they had a couple of real nice opportunities to score at the basket as a jump ball is going to be held. Will be back to Pinconning.
As the 3:18 left in our first half of play, 16-2, the late Bobcats on top.
Palmerville had the 2 free throws in the first quarter, and now that's where Pinconning has been stuck at. Again, not necessarily bad shots or the shot selection. They just got to get more involved with trying to get something. No, double dribble.
Double dribble, yep. And again, it's just the frustration and the pass that you're trying to make. They're not hedging out to be in better position, and that forced her to hiccup on the pass and the double dribble. There's a wide open look in the corner. Finally, Keeney says, get one to drop. It's tickling the twine.
Nice shot. That's her second 3 of the game. So McCrum with a long-range 2-pointer, and then Keeney with so now they might be getting that little warm-up outside from the 3-point line.
Yeah, it's a little 5-0 run here as the last minute or so of play that the Bobcats are starting to find the bottom of the hole. Nice look inside, just a split second too late. Look who wants to go coast to coast. Put the shot up, and Meisel couldn't get it to finish.
Fell away from the basket, and that's a challenge right there because she was going at Palmerville. Could have got number 3 on her.
And again, when you're going down the floor, you like to get that second recognition. There's another turnover. It's a good closeout again by the Lady Bobcats.
As Gauthier is going to check back in for the Lady Spartans.
See if, yep, and that's probably a good move. Palmerville, she still only got 2 fouls. Get her out for a blow. She's been in since the 6:50 mark.
Yeah.
And we got a timeout on the floor, a 30-second one. We'll take one as well and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
As they come out of the timeout, 19-2. They've got a 7-0 run here through the first 5:50 of the second quarter with possession of the basketball.
The 19-0 run going back to the 7:08 mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, normally it's a good sign when you score first. Tonight that's not necessarily, as that 3 ball goes up and it is last touched by the Lady Bobcats, and we'll go back over to the Pinconning Lady Spartans.
I was amazed that they did not call her for traveling. She picked both feet up so that she could get them back outside the three-point line. We talked about that with a friend of ours, another official, Bruce Moore, about how you catch the ball, and then players nowadays, they hop, and nice finish there by Meisel, nice pass.
Great finish. Meisel knew that pass was coming, so she took the proper angle to the hole to be able to finish off the little kiss off the glass.
I believe that was Christensen on the pass as well, but we talk about how the players and how shooting and how they coaches teach. I said, well, don't teach traveling. It's real simple.
And again, the Lady Bobcat defense is extending out 25 feet. And look at, you talk about flying down the floor. There's a perfect example, Jason.
Flying Fiona. She got the ball. She made sure she went up with her left hand. I'm sure she was going to be getting some slack on the right hand finish on the left side.
She knew that Coach Newsham had done a little bit of work in the past about making sure left side goes lefty. Again, 50 seconds left in our first half. And the Pinconning area Lady Spartans looking for their first field goal of the game. Just off the iron. The rebound comes down. Now McCrum looks forward. Great job. Meisel's going to have another finish at the other end of the floor.
That's a real quick 6 points for her. And, but give her credit getting out ahead and catching the ball and finishing it.
And again, really utilizing the team speed in the last couple of minutes here of the first half.
I've said that, a little bit earlier. I think that's one of their strengths. And the more, and I think the deeper they get into the season, I think they start utilizing a little bit more with each game.
Another shot goes up. It's missed. Go back up quick, young lady. And the third opportunity is missed as well. And going to the free throw line will be Christensen.
Nah, they're going to put McCrum at the free throw line. McCrum was the recipient of the foul. 24 there. Holstein, I think, got a little frustrated, maybe a little extra touch, little tap, little baby tap after, getting a little conversation from our official, Paul Sevilla, and just clearing everything, making sure everything's good. It's a way to de-escalate the situation and keep everybody on even keel.
I like it when officials communicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, we saw as Cody Brown and Bob Spahowski did the junior varsity game, both doing a nice job of talking to the kids during the game, to explaining to them why things happen and why they called what they did. Hopefully a learning moment as 0 of 2 at the free throw line for McCrum, but with 3.8 ticks left to get the ball back.
Well, look for a quick 30-second timeout here so he can draw something up. He hasn't used one. This is another good opportunity to see what your girls can pick up on and if you can draw something up.
We'll take a quick break and be back in 30.
Thinking about high-quality education with highly qualified teachers and a wide variety of quality programs? Look no further than Bay City Public Schools.
There's wonderful teachers, wonderful educators, administrators. It's a great place to go to school.
We include everybody and we have a very diverse student base.
At Bay City Public Schools, the teachers are truly there to see the students succeed.
Bay City Public Schools, exceptional opportunities for all. Call us to enroll today, 989-686-9700.
Back here as we look at the Pinconning bench with 3.8 seconds left, as they're going to go out and try and play 3.8 seconds of their best defense of the season to keep John Glenn off the board. It was a nice look, but at the end of the first half of play, it's the John Glenn Lady Bobcats 25, the Pinconning Area Lady Spartans 2. We'll be back to recap the first half, set the stage for the second half right here on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Good evening and welcome back to our Frank's Great Outdoors halftime show. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you. And first 2 points of the night came to the Pinconning Area Spartans, but they didn't get much after that offensively.
No, and I think what started off as real promising, Palmerville hits the 2 free throws. They had a couple of good looks, but then when the other team starts to advance their lead a little bit and it goes 6-2, 8-2, 12-2, you start pressing a little bit, and those shots that are open, you start thinking that they're going to be contested or they're going to be defended. And now all of a sudden, rather than being able just to get a square up, hit your jump shot or take a jump shot, you're forcing it, you're pushing it, and all of a sudden they're good looks, they're just not good shots.
Well, and it took about 4 minutes into the first quarter before the Lady Bobcats, who again were getting good shots, just finally started finding the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, and you see the first one go down, and it always makes the second one go down a little bit easier when you were able to go. I think the 5.5 minute mark was before they had their first points. But they had some good looks, some real good looks, and I don't think there's anything wrong with those looks. But now that they hit a couple of them, they were able to get some rolling. But I'm really happy and impressed with their defense. The other thing in the first half that really hampered Pinconning was the fouls. They were fouling themselves in foul trouble. So Palmerville, who started the game off with the 2 points and several rebounds, a couple of steals, a couple of deflections, now all of a sudden is sidelined on the bench. Kowalczyk had 3. Gauthier had 2, so I mean, your players that you're looking on, again, not just from the scoring, but leadership out there. Now they're sitting next to Coach Wayner.
Unforced turnovers again, and part of that is due to the great defense from John Glenn tonight, but you just hate giving away trips down the floor without getting a shot.
Yeah, I think John Glenn was active defensively, and they were able to get their hands on a lot of things, and I think it became a little more of a frustration for Pinconning. And, then again, when you start getting frustrated, you start doing things at a 1.5 speed when you really need to be going at about a half speed. So John Glenn did a nice job, sped him up, and, but a lot of basketball left to be played here.
Looking forward to a great second half. That about puts the wraps on our Frank's Great Outdoors halftime show. Back with all the second half action in just a moment on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here, ready to roll for the second half on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. And, of course, upstairs producing, directing, and the camera work, Nick Page. And again, like to thank our sponsors, Collier Chiropractic, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, the All Saints Booster Club, Bay City Public Schools, and Frank's Great Outdoors. Glad to have them all aboard here.
Tough to read
fall, winter, and spring.
Tough to read your writing.
Yes, it is. The doctor wrote it. I had to take a double peek at it. Not supposed to let everybody know that. Dr. Doan writes it, and then he's got to look twice to see what he wrote.
We're going to have to edit that pause out, that long extended pause.
Turnover, a little shuffle of the Tootsies at the top of the key. Gives the ball over to the Lady Spartans with an opportunity to come down the floor and looking to get their first offensive basket and trying to fly down the floor, just putting the shot up, hoping that they can get the rebound. And that ball goes out of bounds, and it was last off the face of number 12, Elf.
Yeah, so far, Pinconning going back into their 2-3 zone defense. Going to try to pack it in a little bit. As Keene will take a shot from the outside, hit a pair of threes in the first. As Christensen's going to get called for a reach-in, and that's just a foul that coaches hate because you're 84 feet from the basket, and
you don't need it.
No.
Yeah. It's that simple. You just stated it was almost in harmony there in unison that we said just don't need it. And you know what? Early in a half, either the first or the second half, the officials are looking for one of those because they really want to discourage that from happening the rest of the game. An inadvertent pass ahead, and unfortunately it looked like a touch of soccer here for a second.
Well, I'm not sure. Keeney was like following the ball. Like she was just, oh, that's good. That's good speed, good speed, good speed. Pick it up. Dive.
That ball was fast. That ball was freaky fast. First minute in on our third quarter. Still 25-2. John Glenn Lady Bobcats on top. And I think this trip down the floor is going to bear fruit.
For the defense of John Glenn.
I was going to say for the turnover, unfortunately, as trying to get down the floor, the shot.
Keeney just spin.
Yep.
Like little English.
She did have a little Minnesota Fats English on that.
Wrong sport. She was playing soccer a second ago. Now she's got billiards as Meisel's going to get called the reach-in.
And again, when you're 40 feet from the basket, you need to play good defense and move your feet. That reach-in just isn't necessary up there.
No, it looked like she might have got a little tweak of the shoulder, too, when as a defender, Kowalczyk kind of pulled away. Excuse me, the offensive player.
Kowalczyk flashes through the paint real well, and very nice look at the basket. Unfortunately, unable to finish that time was Gauthier.
Malek bringing the ball up a little slower. She's brought the ball up a couple times this half and almost outran the ball herself. So, nice ball movement. Going to be a 3-second call if she doesn't. Oh, she
does slide out. And again, tiptoeing on the three-point line. The big toe is on the line for a long deuce.
Need about 6.5, not size 7s, baby.
Nice job by Josh Garbalinski there, and had a perfect look at it.
Perfect position. Meisel defending Kowalczyk. Lady to lady.
And we're going to have the third foul by the John Glenn Lady Bobcats. This one was not moving the feet, not shuffling quick enough, and nice job by the Lady Spartans to take that ball strong to the hole.
Van Wagner checking in from Meisel, who picked up the 6 quick points at the end of the first half, and she picked up 2 quick fouls, so she definitely likes to hear that name getting called on the by Terry Snyder.
Well, and she's got a little twing of her shoulder yet, and that thing came off weird, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well and be back in a moment on BCTV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Back here on BCTV as both teams coming out of their prospective huddles, and like the job the officials do. When that first horn goes off, I always love as an official. You walk up, first horn, please wrap it up, coach. We're playing on the second horn. Both teams jump back out on the floor, anxious to see how out of the timeout what the Lady Spartans can get for a quality look. As that shot went up, and unfortunately unable to finish that time was Palmaville.
Good shot, good look. Again, you're going to take that as another foul on John Glenn. As Coach Cliff is, it's pretty tough when there's not a big crowd necessarily with a lot of noise today, so you get to hear everything the coach is saying 50 feet away from the official.
Yep. And when you know your name is Paul.
Kevin was shocked that Maylette was called for the foul there. Thought it was the opposite hook. Little hook and hold type action. We didn't have the replay official.
That's a great look again as
McCrum trying to alley-oop it. There, just take the ball strong.
And
playing with the hair. Don't play with the hair.
It's 3 opportunities, point blank, though.
Yeah,
3 good shots.
Loved it. And players that you think you expect to have a high succession rate there. So as Kowalczyk gets that shot blocked as McCrum steps out. Maylett bringing the ball up the floor. 27-2 here with just under 5 minutes left in quarter number 3.
Starting to get a little flow to this third quarter as the few less whistles. Wide open tickle in the twine. Keeney for 3.
Keeney for 3.
She really got an opportunity to square up, knew that ball was coming, and let it fly.
Well, it's nice, again, when you get really good ball movement, you get a lot of players that are stepping their game up and making sure that the open player is the one who gets it. Oh, nice steal there by number 24, Holstein. Unfortunately, McCrum brings it back down the court.
McCrum does a nice job, just has her arms up, playing good defense as they slide the ball around. And I like the way they snapped the ball around. Open look, unfortunately, did not drop that time for Maylett, but the shot you're looking for.
Yeah, Palmaville with another rebound for the Lady Spartans. Bella Smith, the sophomore, is going to take advantage of the 5-quarter rule the MHSAA put in a couple of years ago. So she played the JV game earlier, but she is waiting at the scorer's table to check in, as the Lady Spartans are also going to send in a couple of subs at the next whistle.
As we just passed the halfway mark of our third quarter, and again, the Lady Spartans just unable to get anything going offensively here in the second half. Nice look underneath, shot up just a little bit too strong from Van Wagner. And it's one and done as the rebound comes down, and the Spartans in transition. Kowalczyk just lost control of that ball. Went off McCrum out of bounds, and we'll go back over to Pinconning.
We got Bain checking back in, Whelan checking back in for the Lady Spartans. As I mentioned, Smith for the Lady Bobcats. And she will take out Shelby Maylett.
Did Bella get any action in the first half? I don't remember if she got on the floor. This could be her first action.
Yep. Not sure if she had 4 quarters in the JV game, but we'll find out one way or the other. If she plays the fourth quarter too, then we know that she'll
have the answer. Again, great run for Keeney down the floor. Kind of got caught in between steps, but was still able to kiss it soft off the glass for the deuce.
Little touch off the glass.
Great awareness.
She didn't go with the spin on it that time, so that was nice.
No, she was just glad to get it off.
Running the floor again. She's open. Throw it.
Boy, they have just got people that get down the floor in a hurry. Don't reach. See, they're learning from it. They decide not worth picking it up. As going back down the floor, Van Wagner decides better of the reach in and just decides to go back and play some defense from 35 feet.
Well, right there, Van Wagner with a nice move in the feet, but it's always, again, nice when you got McCrum kind of waiting in the wings there for an opportunity as Smith brings it up and, get something set up, see if we can get some ball movement here and find ourselves an open shot.
Well, that is, again, another nice look. McCrum just not able to dial it in tonight, but she's getting some great looks, so there's going to be an easy call as Palmaville is going to get called for the foul. A little too much body there.
Yeah. Good news is it's only the first foul for the Spartans here in half number 2, but unfortunately it's going to be her third.
Yep.
As we got a couple more subs, Meisel checking into the game, as well as Adeline Sugden for the Bobcats. They will replace Keeney, who is, she's around the 11, 13-point mark. Couple of 3 threes and a couple of run-aheads, and as McCrum on a nice inbound pass from.
Nice design play out of bounds.
Yeah, get the defense's eyes looking one way and come back and throw it to. She keeps the ball up well too.
Well, I was just going to say that ball stayed above her eyeballs, and as soon as she got it, she was in the shooting mode and was benefited with a deuce. Nice job by the Lady Spartans to maintain that possession, and shot to the off wing comes up a little bit short. And here back down the floor on the controlled break. They're going to start the offense all over downtown off the front iron for McCrum. And another rebound for the putback, and unable to get the deuce. Fight for the loose change. We're going to have a jump ball here off the alternate possession. And both of these ladies a little fired up.
Ball is going to go back to Pinconning.
And again, you make that call for the jump and you do what you're taught to do as an official. You collapse onto the situation, and I would say Paul had his head right in the middle of the activity there to shut her down.
Again, de-escalation is half the battle in the officiating crew. With 1 minute left here in quarter number 3, 34-2 in favor of the Lady Bobcats. As a foul on Smith, who reaches, textbook call, because you reach across your body with your right hand while the offensive player is dribbling with it. Tap with your left, and tap up, not across. Come on. Killing me. These kids are killing me.
They've learned better than that in the past.
For the love of God.
34-2 with 55.4 ticks left in the third quarter, and a steal all within a quarter of a second. Sending an airmail on the offside. Again, it's the nice look. Unfortunately, though, the pass just a little too high.
Well, 46 seconds left. I think you're going to see again girls coming down as they're missing a player to inbound the ball. It's always bad when you got 4 girls down on the one end and you're trying to figure out where the 5th one is.
Well, but it was a nice job, though, because Meisel was supposed to get the ball, and she said, you know what, I'll just step out of bounds and toss it in. I know I'm going to get it right back anyway.
So you get some ball movement here right now. The McCrum with a nice interior pass.
And again, she's set up, ready to go. Puts it up a little bit too strong, and that ball will go back over to the Lady Spartans. And with 26 seconds left in the third, Pinconning area Lady Spartans still looking for their first field goal of the game. They got 2 free throws, and that's been it, the first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, the Bobcats, I give them some credit on the defensive end. They forced a lot of dribble. They forced some unforced errors. They forced some tough shots, and then the shots where the Spartans have gotten some good looks at, it's almost one of those things where, because you have had to rush on a couple of shots, then you end up rushing again, when you do have an open look. So it's kind of a combination. Nice
what a
look
great look. Unable to finish, but that's the end of the third quarter. With the Lady Bobcats from John Glenn 34, the Pinconning area Lady Spartans 2. Back in a moment for the final 8 on BCTV.
Is your pain holding you back from things you enjoy, like playing with your grandchildren or participating in a sport? At Collier Chiropractic, we specialize in neck pain, back pain, headaches, or sciatica that won't go away. If you've tried chiropractic, you've tried physical therapy, you've gone to your medical doctor with no results, or you take medication and it doesn't even touch your pain, then put this number in your phone, give us a call, see how we're different at Collier Chiropractic Bay City.
Back here on Bay County TV as the 3 officials separate from the middle court as they prepare for the final 8 minutes of play. Always nice as officials, you get together for about 30 seconds and make sure everybody's on the same page and that everybody stays focused and make sure you finish strong.
Yeah, in a game where the score is a little bit one-sided, you got to make sure that the players are doing the right thing and making sure everything stays under control.
Another great look that time. Unfortunately, Van Wagner unable to finish. And the ball comes back over to Pinconning Lady Spartans. I'm thinking this is the time down the floor that they're going to get a field goal to drop. And they might be going to the free throw line where they've had much better success. They're 2 for 2 on the night at the free throw line.
100%.
So the next one will put them in the bonus.
It's going to be 2 fouls on Sugden.
As Josh Garbalinski just at the last second caught that person coming to the table, but had already gotten rid of the ball, and certainly not a big deal in this juncture of the ball game. And another shot off the front iron, a high kiss off the glass, unable to get that to finish. And that ball goes out of bounds, and we are going to have another foul on the floor. And I'm thinking it's going to go against number 11, Van Wagner.
Yeah,
we're going to the other end to shoot.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. Again, I think Kowalczyk, the response was
Not me.
I think she had the probably little flashback from the first half when she got called on 2 fouls that I don't think she was very certain that it was her fault. So she heard that whistle and looked at the referee after she got tackled at the 4-yard line.
With that, oh, no, not again look. Well, she's going to have an opportunity to shoot the 1-and-1 at the free throw line. And let's see if Kowalczyk can drive it home. Nice bend of the knees, flick of the wrist, 4 pieces of iron, and unable to drop. That's frustrating.
That is, and you would have liked to have gotten off the schneid there and got into the scoring column while you're at it. As they're going to run a little down to Facundo. Facundo back out to Maylett. Maylett almost stepped out of bounds, kept their toes up. As Fiona's going to go with some speed to the basket. Smith tries to make it, and Kowalczyk loses the ball off of her fingertips. Keeney coming back in, checking in for Bella Smith.
Bella gets a pretty nice little jaunt on the floor in this last segment.
Yeah, a couple rebounds, trying to make a difference out there. See, we're going to try and run Maylett out to the 3-point line, screen inside for by McCrum's screen on the inside, and just airmailed it a little far over the rim, but another good look.
Into the front court, Kowalczyk sends it onto the wing. Nice little give and go again. 2 pieces of iron and unable to get a shot to drop. That time I believe that it was Wieland on the shot.
Yeah, Palmerville coming back into the game as well as hosting. Subbing out, I believe, Bain and...
I think Palmerville's going to get a deuce here. Back in the game, fresh, hungry for a basket.
Nice look by Gothier coming off the screen from Palmerville.
So she was a factor on that first shot, just a little too strong on the delivery.
Moving the ball around, and Keene wide open for the 3. See if she can get her 4th one down. And she does.
It's a beautiful rotation again. They've done a nice job of their perimeter ball movement tonight to really move the ball from side to side.
They did, and the one thing I think if you're going to look at, from as Kowalczyk tries to make her presence felt as she forces in, McCrum's going to throw this one up to Miza, who got ahead of everybody and can't get it to drop.
It's going to stay right here, as unfortunately Palmerville could not get her hands on that ball as she was the last to touch it.
Yeah, I think so. Going back, the one thing I think if you look from the John Glenn part of it, or excuse me, from the Pinconning defense, is the lack of communication on the backside. I think that's something that Coach Wayner I think he can correct it. It's a correctable mistake for the players. It's one of those things where when the ball starts getting rotated, the weak side block defender needs to step their game up a little bit and be able to see the weak side pass. Because even though you're in a zone, you're still in man-to-man principles. You still have somebody that you're responsible for. The old days, people just say, oh, I don't have a spot, no one's in my zone. Well, you always have somebody. You're always responsible for somebody.
Nice stroke at the line for the first of 2 for McCrum.
38-2 in favor of the Lady Bobcats. Guess I don't need to tell the score because it's at the bottom of the screen. It's not like we're on radio.
Well, we like to do that for our own focus. Again, it's 39 unanswered points here at the 5.5-minute mark of our 4th quarter. Kowalczyk sends that ball back up top.
Hands off. Oh, you got to get in the passing lane, Keeney. Get in the passing lane. And a little reach in by Maylett. He's going to put the
Kowalczyk back at the free throw line. She said, I got 4 pieces iron on the last. Couldn't get anything to drop. This time I'm going to go for the bottom of the hole.
I'm just going to aim for the middle.
1-and-1.
8th team foul here in the second half for the Bobcats. Reversal of the first half where the Lady Spartans put the Bobcats into the bonus.
Oh, yes. Very nicely done. I like her patience. She does the same routine, but boy, she really sets that ball and takes a good stare at that front iron before she lets it fly.
The John Glenn student section trying to get into her head, and she's just going to flick the wrist. Nice rotation. Touches the rim. All of it.
3 pieces of iron and softly through the cotton for 2 for 2 at the line for Kowalczyk.
Now they're going to look to get the ball.
And again, I don't think defenders actually remember that she's a southpaw until she gets into the shooting motion, and by then it's too late.
And you reach across the wrong direction.
Yep.
Gauthier picked up her 4th foul. She will be coming out for a moment. One of the leaders, one of the veterans of the team, being a junior on the squad. See some laughing and some smiling out there. That's always good to see. You can compete, you can do your thing, but it's still nice to be able to see a little smile every now and then.
Yep, when you work hard, you can have a little grin on your face because you've been working hard. That's all good. Kowalczyk with a little spin move, taking it to the hole. Gets 2 pieces of iron, but unable to finish. Facundo with another nice rebound. Nope, that was McCrum, sorry.
Nice pass to Facundo from Keeney. Nice kick out. Little right hand
soft
toss.
Righty.
She's amphibious. She's an amphibian.
Or ambidextrous, yes, indeed. Timeout on the floor with 4:42 left in the ball game. 42-4. Back in a moment on BCTV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Back here on Bay County TV as we look into the John Glenn Bobcat bench. Kevin Cliff with final words of instructions for his ladies, and he certainly has got to be impressed on both ends of the floor. Even the shots that hadn't gone in for John Glenn tonight, good shot selection.
Good quality, and I think he was as excited to see, Keeney hitting some of those threes. She's about 4 for 9 from the three-point line tonight. So, you start adding those extra dimensions to your team as they're going to do a little 1-3-1 now to change up the pace, as she forgot to put the ball down before the puppies got set.
And it's just been a frustrating night offensively. Early on, Pinconning got a lot of great looks, just unable to convert. And there's a strong finish. We are now in a running clock situation.
So who makes the cut? Does the official? There the official makes the...
Well, the table should know. The official is just reinforcing it to the table. And they don't have to wait for the official to make that call.
The circle?
Yep.
The finger motion?
I usually give it this way, not up over the top. That's kind of the cuckoo look, but...
So let me ask you a question. Let's get into that, because during football season we have to talk about our tips, but when you're in basketball, when does the clock stop again? Under 35? 30. So you get it to 40, you have a running clock, and
most of the times when it gets to 40, it will stay in a running clock situation, as that ball will go out of bounds. And no indication yet. They're going to give that ball back over to Pinconning.
Smith and entering the game again, as well as Christensen for the Bobcats. They'll take out Keeney and Facundo. Keeney with might even be a career night for her, point-wise. So congratulations to her on a great game. I'm sure that they'll want us back. I'm sure we want us back.
She said that we're good luck for them.
I'm not superstitious.
Nope. We just know what works.
We know who we are.
So the Bobcats with 3 minutes left in a running clock situation. What a great extra look underneath. And Smith, the big Bella, says, I'll get a deuce on there. Is a great pass and a great look from McCrum. Very unselfish.
It was unselfish, but I like the bench. The bench jumped up and definitely gave some love. So they love to see a player work hard and get those extra varsity points. And nothing wrong with starting your career as a sophomore with some points in the varsity, as Palmerville turns around, little jump shot from the free throw line.
And you got to love it when those 6 through 10 work so hard in practice and they get a chance to get on the board. And again, there's another penetration and a dish. And the shot is off the mark, but a nice long rebound. And Bella with another opportunity, wanted to go for 2 in a row. And McCrum can't get it. She gets her own rebound, can't get it. We're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession. It'll go back over to Pinconning as we're down to 2 minutes and counting left in the contest.
He's got a sub coming in as Brazeau will come back in. Jasmine, number 25, takes out Holstein.
Buck 45 and counting, 48-6. The Lady Bobcats just had their way tonight.
Started off slow, and they finally got a little bit of maybe seeing that first ball drop. I think that changes the mindset a little bit and put your coaches at ease a little bit, you know, when you start seeing a couple of them drop. And we know they had some good looks to start the game, but they didn't get their first basket, their first point, until the 5.5-minute mark in the first quarter.
Early on, they looked like they were pressing a little bit, and once they calmed down, and again, after that first shot goes through, look at the flying down the floor and unable to finish, but who's there for the loose change and the putback for the deuce?
Christensen. Right spot, right time. As Fiona will say, that was a great pass.
Well, and what you look at is great hustle to get down the floor. You can watch your teammate fly, but at the same time, you want to be part of that activity, and she got down and she was rewarded for her hustle.
You know, I like a couple of things, you know, the fact that she was able to, even as the ball handler beat the defense back down the court, says you a little bit about an idea about how her speed is. As Palmaville is trying to hit another field goal to her scoring column tonight, just off the mark.
Look at McCrum coming out, and she tickles the twine from about 21 feet.
I think she just kept going further and further back near the student section.
Yeah, she definitely, after she let that fly, she was very confident that that was dropping. Kowalczyk with a little floater in the lane in the deuce with 4 seconds left in the game.
Well,
and that's all there is.
There is no more.
Final score in the ball game, 53-8. We'll be back in a moment to put the wraps on this one on BCTV.
Thinking about high-quality education with highly qualified teachers and a wide variety of quality programs? Look no further than Bay City Public Schools.
There's wonderful teachers, wonderful educators, administrators. It's a great place to go to school.
We include everybody, and we have a very diverse student base.
At Bay City Public Schools, the teachers are truly there to see the students succeed.
Bay City Public Schools, exceptional opportunities for all. Call us to enroll today, 989-686-9700.
Back with our Bay City Public Schools post-game wrap-up here on Bay County TV. As we look back at this action, after the ball really started rolling in the second half, the Bobcats started making it happen on both ends of the floor and were able to pull away to a running clock.
They did, and kudos to Coach Cliff on the victory. Last year when we saw him, he was coaching the boys up at Pinconning, so different to see him back in the navy blue, which he's more familiar with than the green. But so congratulations to the Lady Bobcats. Yeah, they pushed the ball, but I was really impressed with their ball movement coming out of their, you know, Pinconning was trying to pack him, basically daring them to shoot the 3 ball, and Liz Keeney hit 4 threes. McCrum hit a couple of long-range shots that were tootsies were on the 3-point line too. So, you know, that's one way to really stretch out that zone defense. And when they did that, McCrum was making some really nice passes on the interior, and they were able to get some more baskets. So congratulations to the Lady Bobcats.
Well, McCrum gets 19 tonight. Keeney comes up with 14. She was the other lady, as you said, gets 4 triples tonight. But again, when you talk about the passing, not just the perimeter passing, but when McCrum would flash into the paint, she would spin and she could recognize whether she had a double team coming or not, and she was making great choices for real good looks under the basket.
Yeah, and again, not all of them fell, but you're watching film and you're paying attention to the little things, and you're going, okay, that's a great decision. It's the right basketball play. It's a basketball IQ. It's a heads up. Everything is correct, you know. But a lot of them in the second half today, they went. So they dropped, and definitely was nice to see because, you know, again, when you're packing that zone in and you're able to get ball movement around that perimeter, it's one of those things where if you can hit a couple of those threes, and, you know, Keeney did. I mean, she banged out 2 in the first, banged out 2 in the second, and was a big difference because that extended the defense for Pinconning, and that left the baseline open, and all of a sudden you had flashers or cutters, and a very capable passer in McCrum, and able to find Bella Smith there toward the end, Christensen there at the end, Meisel a couple of times up and down the floor, showing off some really good speed. So it was a good team victory for the Bobcats.
A great victory again, as we talked about a couple of times during the game, coming off a real tough crosstown rivalry loss to Garber. You really are excited to get back on the floor and see how your team responds to that tough loss.
Yeah, the good thing is you didn't have much time to wallow in it. You had played Friday night, and we're here Monday night, Martin Luther King Day, having a basketball game. So, it's not like you had to wait a week and, coach is still yelling at you on Wednesday for something that happened a week ago.
Discussing
loudly. That was one easy way to help that transition period for everybody to forget what would happen on Friday night. So,
well, a great victory tonight for John Glenn, and just keep chugging for the Pinconning Spartans. Just keep working hard, and good things are on the horizon. That about puts the wraps on our Bay City Public Schools post-game show. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.